Hi there, and thank you so much for watching. Today is Tuesday, September 25th, and I know this is kind of an odd day. It's like Tuesday evening for me to upload, but I figured I would do this because I have some extra time. I have extra time because I took a few days off from work in the middle of September just because. And it's been like a gift from above because I really am appreciating this time to sort of take a step back. I'm not traveling, I'm not doing anything, I'm just kind of like at home chilling. And it's been really great to take some time to sort of declutter my mind and my space and just really sort of have like a mental vacation. So, on that note, I thought it would be good to do sort of a 9-month life check-in because this is September, and I know a bunch of people were doing like a mid-year check-in. So I'm a little bit late to that game, a little bit early for the New Year's end of the year recap. So I figured it, like right in the middle. But there are also, give or take, about 100 more days left in the year. So there are 97 more days left in the year, and someone had made a post on Instagram. It was like, you still have 100 days. You can still, what will you do in the next 100 days? So that's kind of the spirit that I'm looking at this with, kind of that whole, what can I accomplish in the next 100 days? And where have I come in the past, like 200 and whatever, 65 days. So I made some notes, and so that's what I'm looking at. And I thought I would sort of break this down into the 7 areas of life. And as Zig Ziglar talks about like the 7 spokes on the wheel of life, and I kind of try to look at it at my life and like goal setting in that way. So the 7 areas are, and I'll list them below as well. They're finance, personal growth, business, physical environment, recreation, romance, and family and friends. So also in the beginning of the year, I did sort of a 2017 recap and a 2018 year in review, or 2018 like wish list, and that wasn't super comprehensive. It was a little bit vague, big surprise for me. It was like, I just want to grow and continue to develop. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But one of the things that I did want to do, and this falls under recreation, was to climb a 14er. And I am so happy to say that I did do that. And I'm like really excited because that was on my list and that happened. And I'm super stoked. It was awesome. It was probably one of the best things that happened this year, top 5. So, and that was in June. And I had some awesome, amazing friends that I was able to climb with their family. And was able to connect with some other people while I was out there. It was just an amazing experience. And it was one of those like leap of faith things when I was booking the ticket. I was like, I don't know if I have the money to do this. And it was like, just do it. So it's usually always worth it in the end when you just do things that are on your list of goals and things that you desire for yourself. So I'm not going to get super specific into anything else. That was just kind of one of the greatest things, one of the best things this year under recreation. And I guess also in the area of physical environment, continuing to make strides into like decluttering and sort of downsizing and streamlining, minimalizing, if you will, your environment. So that's been a big positive as well. And then kind of just step back on the idea of like mindset and affirmations, because I'm kind of noticing that that's the direction that this channel is taking, is like affirmations and how you manifest those things in real life. So one of the things that I noticed that about manifesting and calling these new things into your life is that sometimes you have to readjust, almost always, if it's a big shift, something big that you're like looking for, like say you want to increase your net worth from a negative amount to like to $1 million positive in 5 years, and you want to do it that fast, and you do it, and you're intentional, and you're smart, and you're lucky, and all these things start happening for you. You realize in some cases it's tough to in a lot of cases it's tough to adjust, but there's sort of a readjustment of your set point that has to go on. So for me particularly, and I'll say particularly in the area of relationships and romance, there's an adjustment that I've discovered needs to take place, because for me, like my set point is to be single, because I've been single for most of my life, and that required a big shift. So, and I've heard a lot of people required a big shift. So I've heard people talk about the idea of your environment and your thought world, life, whatever, is like a thermostat, being controlled by a thermostat. And if you're asking new things to come into your life, like you want this awesome, amazing relationship, and you want it, and you're affirming it, and you're praying, and you're taking active steps to welcome this relationship into your life, when this does come to you, you want to be able to receive it and to accept it. And sometimes that requires changing your natural set point. So like a thermostat, you sort of turn that to adjust where you would like to be. Now, if you're used to living at like 68 degrees, it's really cold, you get your sweater on, you're like shivering, but that's normal because that's what you think, that's what you've adjusted to. But let's say you want to move it up to 72 or 73, and you gradually start to increase, and then you get used to it, and you take steps to increase the temperature. It's going to require changes. Like, you're going to have to change. You're going to have to maybe take off a layer or 3. You're going to have to maybe think about using some clothes or some things that you haven't used in a while. You're going to maybe want to think about how life is different for you at 72 degrees than it was at 68 degrees. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, and what I'm actively trying to work on in my own life. Is adjusting my set point in all areas, in the areas of like physical environment, recreation, romance, personal growth, business, friends and family, and all those things. So that's definitely something that I'm thinking about in these last couple days of the year. And on the topic of affirmations, I have to say a huge thank you to Mark, who left a comment about adding the phrase every day in every way to affirmations, which is a great idea. So thank you, Mark. I definitely am starting to do that. And I'm going to share with you the affirmation that I have been sort of trying to internalize and think about. And this is the affirmation. I am learning new skills and attitudes and behaviors that help me welcome new situations into my life. So again, I'm learning new skills, attitudes, and behaviors that help me welcome new situations into my life. Because if you're asking for these things, I want to be ready to receive them. As I'm asking for new things, I want to be ready to receive. And it can be a challenging place to be for anyone, I think, to receive something new. Even if it's like a fantastic thing that you've always wanted all your life, it still is going to require some adjustment and some sort of some change, change. So looking at these past sort of 200 and change days and looking at the 97 days ahead, that's kind of where I find myself. Grateful for the fantastic experiences that I've manifested thus far, and then looking to develop attitudes, thoughts, and behaviors that will help me to welcome even greater things in the days to come. So thank you so much for watching. And also I wanted to give 2 channels a shout out. I'm kind of trying to like reinvigorate my YouTube game, kind of step it up a little bit. And 2 channels that I've been hugely motivated by were Financial Education. He's huge. He gives like stock advice and financial advice, but he's also got some pretty sound so he's personal finance, stocks, and entrepreneurship. So he's kind of coming at it from, I think, a couple levels above where I am, which is great. So I will recommend him. And also City Girl Living on a Budget. She used to be Julia Marie, and I love her channel. She's a little bit smaller, and I love her authenticity and her honesty. I would definitely say that she's probably the one that's kind of given me the most motivation lately to just kind of get back into it. I think she's a project manager who has her MBA. And I just find her perspective so intelligent and creative. And also her take on the whole life adjustment kind of thing. So I can really relate to her. So Julia, thank you so much for sharing. And I think Financial Education, I'm not sure what his name is. I think it might be Mark. No, that's not right. Anyway, so I'll link below. So thank you to both of those channels. They're great. If you like finance, personal finance themed things, I think you'd really like them. You should check them out. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you will continue to watch. I hope to, again, come at you with a more regular uploading schedule, definitely Saturday morning. Hopefully we'll be getting back into that. I aim to get back into that. So again, this has been my 9-month check-in. Thank you for watching. Bye.